Yeah, it's not going just bang, bang.
Yeah, no, not just bang, bang. There's a process that you go through, and the initial step, what we call the perceiving step, the first thing you should do when you have an idea is to sit down, take pencil and paper, and write your idea down.
Okay.
And there's several reasons for doing that. The primary one is when you write the idea down, it helps you think through your idea. What it is, what's its purpose, if it's a method of doing something.
Sure.
What are the steps that are going to be involved, if it's some type of device. What are the features of this device, and it helps you to identify and better define what your idea is. A lot of people just have a concept, but they have not thought through how this is going to become a product and how it's going to benefit and bless people.
Right.
So when you write it down, it forces you to think through that process. It also helps you to understand where you are in the process. Some people have ideas that products they've already built. They have prototypes. Others just have a concept. Right. And it helps you understand where you are. And once you understand where you are, then you know where you need to start to get help to develop it. So that's the first thing you do is write it down. And not only does it help you identify your idea and understand what's involved in it, when you write it down, that's your first physical manifestation of your idea. It's no longer just a thought in your mind. It's actually tangible on paper.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And the thing is, and I think you made it very clear, is it's not an overnight thing. It's a process, and which is going to require patience. You know, it may be a God idea, but we got to humanly walk it out.
You got to humanly walk it out. It requires patience, and it also will require you to get assistance from others. That's part of this process. You write it down, you have it, and once you know where you are, you may need assistance. You may need someone to help you design it. You may need somebody to help you. You may need an attorney to help you protect it. You may need somebody to help you manufacture or build it. And it helps you understand where you are in that process.
Well, and what would be the first step to protect it? Because that's where I think a lot of people stop with what their idea and dream is, because when they get the idea, who do you share it with?
Yeah,
what's
because
the
I have a bunch of thieves out there, dude. I've had people trying to steal my song.
Or someone say, well, you know, oh, I already had that idea, and then they run with it. You know, what do you do?
Well, the first thing you do, think about who you're going to share it with. I know when you have an idea, you have a natural desire to want to tell the world because you're excited about it. That's not a good thing to do. You can probably get away with telling family about it and be safe, but you really want to think about who am I sharing this with and why am I sharing it. And then the rule of thumb is unless they're going to help you develop this idea, you don't need to talk to them about it.
I agree.
And along with that, in that process, you go through, even when you share it with them, you communicate to them that this is being shared to you confidentially. I don't want you going out spreading this idea around to others. Typically, that's done with an agreement, a confidentiality agreement. We have a sample in the book to let people know what goes into it. But you want to disclose it to people that are going to help you, and you want to disclose it in basically in a written agreement, so they'll know they're not to share it with anyone.
Yeah. Well,
and that's the first step in protecting. And then you have you have three basic ways that you protect ideas. Well, four basic ways. You protect it with agreements. That's what we call trade secrets, where you have agreements that they agree to keep it confidential. And then you have the big three: patents, copyrights, and trademarks. Patents cover ideas that are what we call technical. We mentioned before. Copyrights cover ideas what we call artistic, which are the music, the songs. And trademarks, they don't cover ideas per se, but they cover the names of the ideas. You see trademarks a lot in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
And you see copyrights a lot in the entertainment industry, and you see patents a lot in the technical industries.
Yeah.
But a patent, a copyright, and a trademark, those are legal documents that come from the government. The trade secret are just the agreements that you have between you and the other person. But those are the four basic ways that you protect your ideas.
So,
like your songs are artistic, so they're copywritten.
Yeah. This is a silly question, but I think stuff out. See, I'm a redneck from Texas.
Okay.
And so I cover my bases. I'm thinking, is there a way like what I used to do with my songs? If I wrote a song, I would write it, put it on a tape, put the lyrics in it, and then seal it in an envelope that there's no way to unseal it without showing that it had been tampered with, and then mail it to myself, and it had a postmark on it.
Okay, yes.
So that if anybody ever said I wrote that song, then they're going to have to produce some kind of document showing that they wrote it before my postmark.
Okay, two things. That's what you call, that's called the poor man's copyright.
Exactly.
That's what you used
That's exactly what I call it.
We don't have
Steal
no,
my song, sucker.
we don't have no time to go into differences, but really, for a copyright, that's probably okay because they have what are called common law copyrights.
Yeah.
Which is once you create it and put it on a tangible medium, in your case a tape, you have certain rights in it.
Okay.
So you don't have to mail a copyright to yourself.
Really? I just did double did.
How much did that cost in postage? Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, we don't do it that way anymore.
People typically get in trouble when it comes to patents because there are no common law patent rights. And what they would do, they would mail it to themselves, and it doesn't really work because the laws are designed for you to promote, to disclose. So that's not the proper procedure. What I recommend
That
people...
wouldn't help, though.
No.
It wouldn't help at all. If you have an idea and you put it on a videotape and you have Fox News in the background showing the date and all that.
If you're going to conceal it, it's not going to help you because the laws are designed to disclose for patents. So what I recommend people do is write it down on paper, like we mentioned before, and then sign it. Well, go to a notary and sign in front of a notary, have the notary notarize it. Now, what happens is the date's going to be on there because that's what you want.
Right.
That's the big key. That's why they have that postmark.
Okay,
so the date's going to be on there. You want them to notarize it, and then you put it in your file. So it has the same legal weight, and really more legal weight than this envelope, because if somebody accidentally opens the envelope, your evidence is gone.
Right, that makes sense. That's a good idea. That'll give them some sense of security.
And not only that, that's how companies do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's the way we want to do it then.
Which Darcell's a UT law graduate.
Yeah. That's why I'm